Hey, it's love to be loved. It's always love to be loved. And I'm here to talk to you about BMX bikes. Now, I am no expert, and I haven't caught up into it for years. And I haven't even done it professionally, and the only time I really did it was back in the 80s when I tried to do a few tricks. One of those tricks was a pop a willy, where you pop up the pop up the front wheel, pop up the front wheel, and try to ride on one wheel as far as you can go. I got pretty good at that, but uh, there's been a few moments where like, what am I doing? And where I got hurt, but not too hurt, just butt hurt. Anyways, then another one is called, what is that trick called? The endo trick, where you lean the bike forward, and you spun the back end around. And I got pretty good at that, but I didn't do too much more. I maybe doing some jumps. The ramps I made weren't that great. If they even lasted one jump, I was too scared to do the big ones. Except for I think I did it. You know what? No, I take that back. I do remember doing it once. I got brave, and I don't think I hurt myself. As long as I didn't try to do any of the flips or the turn the bike to the side. Now BMX stands for bicycle mount motor or whatever it is up here. The X is like, Xmas or crossing, where they replace the C with an X for whatever reason. BMC bikes. BMX sounds so much better, doesn't it? A lot cooler anyways. Now, just keep in mind, BMX is not a brand, it's the type of bike. And typically is one speed, and it had 20-inch wheels. Now, the type of wheels that everyone was not so much now because of how heavy they are, but the mag wheels. Now, the most expensive ones were actually made from magnesium, but all of them were made from other alloys of metal that I'll put up here. And anyways, the so the mag wheels, which were the thick ones, I'll show a display up here, or the chrome. It's the typical chrome spokes. So I don't know why I really got into bikes. I heard, never really saw it on TV, but that really got me getting into it was Rad, and they actually hired people like legends like Eddie Fiola, Martin A. Parioho, Bill Allen, R.L. Osborne, and Brian Blither, and a few others. Those were real legends back in the 70s of mostly freestyling, and they made tricks work really, really cool. And they were the ones hired to do a lot of the tricks in the opening scenes, and they were the bad guys. Like Eddie Ferraro was supposed to be the bad guy, the mean, pompous whatever. then, and so you had Rad, and you also had BMX. Oh, the type of bike that they rode was what was it? There was a Mongoose, California, and I forgot I didn't write down the name of the other one. So I'll put it up here. And it was specially made for Eddie Fiallo. But I was actually surprised. They actually had the Mongoose, because Mongoose was known as the mass-produced bike, the Kmart bike, the Target bike, or whatever. But they're pretty sturdy bikes. That was the second. I had a Huffy and then a Mongoose that my mom got. It was used, and I thought that was really cool. But I also know about the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks they're the innovators. They're one of the first brands on the BMX bike. I'm not so sure, but I'll show a list of the other brands that were out there. But Mongoose got featured in two actual BMX bike movies, the Rad and the BMX Bandits, which was, they had the Malvern Star Superstar, which is mostly popular in Australia, which I think where BMX Bandits was filmed, and the Mongoose Gooser. So you had that, and with the Bandits, the only star I remember is Nicole Kidman when she was really young. So yeah, and in one of those films, or another film that I couldn't find, no matter how deep I looked, kind of got me in trouble. And the reason why it got me in trouble is because, being young, you don't really think about how movies are made. And there was a scene, it was an opening scene or something, where it showed this kid riding his BMX bike across the rooftops. And the rooftops, the neighborhood they chose, had the rooftops really close to each other. And I tried to do that scene. Well, I was able to get up on the roof, but I wasn't able to get the bike up on the roof. Which should have been my first clue of, this is not how it appears. Anyways, I was too scared to come down. And my dad heard me up on the roof. He was wondering what I was doing. And then he showed me the making of that movie, whichever one it was, because it won't show me. Either it got scrubbed so they don't want other kids trying to get up on the bike, on the roof. But anyways, yeah. He showed me the making, that there's a lot that goes into it, that there is stunt people, that there is cranes, there's safety wires, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, I could have died. I could have been unalive. Anyways, so yeah, those are the movies that inspired me to want to ride bikes. It didn't inspire me enough to make a career out of it, or to try that much harder than just having fun on them and riding around. But yeah, BMX bikes, they're strong now today. We'll start with the women. In the racing end, you have Saya Saka Kilburn, Marina Padron, Lacey Lacey Willow Gabby. You also had from times past, you had Cherry Elliott, Sarah Jane Nichols, Chris Dolce, and Chris Dolce. And those are the legends I just mentioned. The first one's Isaiah, Marina, and Lacey. Those are the top racers of today, the female racers. And then you had freestyle, Hannah Roberts, Nikita Decoros, and Paris Benassas. Then for the guys, the racing, you had Horace Daddett, Arthur Pillard, and Cam Wood. Then the freestylist was Jose Torpez, someone by the name of Isaac, Kieran Kelly, and Justin Dow, and JT or Jacob Time. Did I mention in Rad? Oh no, yeah, I didn't mention in Rad. You had the legends of Eddie Fiola, Eddie Fiola, Martin A. Parillo, Bill Allen, R.A. Osborne, and Brian Blither. So yeah, those are the legends of the people who rode on that back in the 70s and 80s. But yeah, I still remember, I gotta get me some mag wheels, because that was the coolest thing. But from the early 2000s up to current, you still have documentaries. There's a lot of them. One was called The Outside Watch, which featured another BMX legend, Chris Kyle. He did some crazy stuff for the X Games, jumping out of a helicopter onto a ramp. There's another legend by the name of Fabio Wibner, and one of many he did. Fabio Wibner, he did Danger Zone. There's also Dear 39th Street, then there's another one featuring Stevie Smith. Apparently his nickname was, there's this documentary called Long Live Chainsaw. There's also Encouraged. I forgot the name of the country. I think it is Nigeria. Or Courage Adams. There's also one live action thing called Walls. All In. There's a few others. All In, Walls, Danger Zone, yeah. Where is it? Anyways, right up here, there's a bunch of, and a lot of them were sponsored by Red Bull. Apparently they have a streaming service. I am not sponsored by them. That's how I got a lot of the list of the documentaries that I found. So I'll give credit where credit is due. Yeah, so BMX bikes. That was just really cool for me to watch some of the tricks that some of these people can do. All these exciting races. It's still out there. It's still going strong. I mentioned a bunch of names that people are taking this really seriously. I mainly did it because of the nostalgia. I really like riding bikes and trying to learn new tricks, so I wasn't brave enough to do any others, because just, didn't want to get hurt. Anyways, don't forget to hit that like button. Yeah, we hit the like button. We don't smash it. Hit that like button. Ring that bell. And remember, it's love to be loved. It's always love to be loved. Be blessed and goodbye.